Hey everyone, it's Coach Matt over here at Primal Athlete Training Center and primalatc.com. Just got another email here in my inbox. Like I said last time, if you guys go right to primalatc.com, you can get my address, my email address right off there. Email me your questions directly. That way I don't have to find your question and sift through the comment sections on Facebook and on YouTube. But today's question comes from a D. Wade Whelan. That's the email address. He didn't sign his name, unfortunately, so I can't say his real name. But he says, "Hey Matt, I'm a junior thrower from Vermont, and I really appreciate all the advice you have to offer through your videos. Guys, I love giving it, so I'm glad you appreciate it. I love giving the advice even more." And he goes on to say, "I was wondering if there was a go-to drill to help me turn out of the back. My first 2 years of throwing, I didn't have a coach, and this year I have a coach that's primarily a runner. I went to the Bill Falk camp in Rhode Island this summer, and I learned a lot." Guys, if you're in the area, if you're in New England, just as a side note, you really want to check out that camp. I'm a former director of the camp. MF Athletic, who's a sponsor of our site, and Bill Falk Schools, Bill Falk's camps. It's an unbelievably awesome time. We can get in a ton of throwing. So if you're in the Rhode Island area, happens at Rhode Island College, go to mfathletic.com or everythingtrackandfield.com. You're actually, if you go to Primal ATC, you'll see that there's a banner on my site. Check out the camp. It's awesome. Back to the question. I said I went to the Bill Falk camp in Rhode Island this summer and I learned a lot, but I'm having a hard time efficiently coming out of the back of the circle into the South African movement after the initial turn. Thank you so much. Well, we're going to talk about this a little bit here. What we're going to say is, the point that he's talking about is, when you're in the back of the circle, so let's say this is the back of the circle. If he's a right-handed thrower, what the problem he's having is, as he turns on his left foot, as he turns to come out of the circle, he's having a hard time transitioning from turning into that drive down the middle. And that's really tough. One of my throwers was actually asking me about that today. And it's tricky to learn, it's tricky to teach, but we're going to show you a couple tips. The first tip, when you're in the back of the circle, okay, you have to have your knees bent. Okay? I tell my guys all the time, you can't jump with your legs straight, and you can't run with your legs straight. In order to extend your knees, you have to first bend them. So in the back of the circle, you want to make sure that your knees are bent. Nice athletic position. The other thing that you want to make sure of is that you're properly shifting weight. If you're a right-handed thrower, you're properly shifting the weight onto your left side, onto your left foot. The only way that you're going to turn is if that weight is balanced, if all that weight is here onto your left foot, if you're a right-handed thrower. Okay, from here, when we turn out of the back of the circle, so let me show you this way. When we turn out of the back of the circle, our weight is shifted and our foot swings out. So our weight is shifted and our foot swings out. Now, at this point, you really want to concentrate on two things. The first thing is that this leg stays bent. The second thing is that you're driving, and you're driving forward with the knee of your right leg. So at this point here, we want to explode with both legs. This leg's going to extend as this leg is kicking. So we're going to drive and run down the middle of that circle. We're going to drive and bounce down the middle of that circle. Just like in the glide. If you were to do a glide shot put, you don't just kick out with the leg, and you don't just push with the power leg. You're actually going to do both at the same time. Bring it in and explode with both. Really use both legs to push out. You have to focus on that in the discus too. So as you turn, shift the weight, turn onto that left foot, and explode with both legs at the same time. Now, you have to find that time when you can pause. This is a big, big problem for a lot of throwers when they first start out. As you turn, you don't want to just turn and flop in the middle of the circle. You don't want to just turn and take a nosedive into the circle. You have to find that tiny little pause as that right leg swings out. You have to find that tiny little bit of a pause before you turn and drive. You can see it. I'm going to slow it down for you, but you're here. Shift the weight over onto the left side. Lead with the knee and the foot. Turn and pause. Let me show you again. Here, turn, and pause. So don't think about turning and spinning. Think about turning, that slight pause, and then driving down the middle. The other tip, and something that you should do for all of your drills, and something that you should do while you practice, is to put the discus down. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Put the discus down. Get something else in your hand that's about the same weight as the discus, but that you're not going to have to worry about dropping. You're not going to have to worry about it falling out of the hand. And you're not going to have to worry about keeping it in the right position. What we do is we use a 2.5 pound weight plate. So we've got 2.5 pound weight plate, and basically all we're going to do is just put our fingers through it so that we don't have to worry about dropping it. Now that we're not concerned about the discus flying or releasing the discus, we're not concerned about holding the discus or having it drop out of our hand, and we're not concerned about having our hand and our fingers in the right spot, we can just put our fingers through the middle hole, and we can go through all of our drills holding on to a 2.5 pound plate. You can use a water bottle or a 2-liter soda bottle that's filled up with sand or with water. We used to use bowling pins, we use pieces of pipe, metal bars. Guys, you can grab shoes, you can grab traffic cones, whatever you have that's easy to hold on to. That way you can focus only on your legs and your feet without concentrating on the discus. Now, to the person that sent in that email, I wish I knew your first name because you asked a fantastic question. If anybody else has questions like this, keep them coming. I love answering them. I'll put out a video a day if I have to. Keep those questions coming in. Alright guys, make sure if you haven't done so already, go to primalatc.com and check out our site. We have a brand new primalatc.com blog that's going to be hitting within the next week or so. We're just putting the finishing touches on it now. We're just getting it uploaded. Every single day there's either going to be an article that's written to teach you about training and technique work for the throws and for your lifting, or there's going to be a video regarding training and conditioning for the throws or throwing technique, answering your questions. Keep the questions coming in. I'm going to keep answering them. Again, guys, check out primalatc.com, and thank you for these questions. I really, really love answering them.